Very important medical disclaimer. Information provided in this podcast is for educational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment before undertaking a new health regimen. Welcome to the Holistic Health Explained podcast. I'm your host, Shante Fox, and my guest for today's episode is Selene Bartolo. Selene is a best-selling author, awakened success and spiritual coach, and a personal development mentor devoted to helping others heal, evolve, and thrive. Having overcome a life shaped by emotional and physical abuse, Selene transformed her pain into power, embarking on a profound spiritual journey after her second divorce. Her healing path became the foundation for her book, Live Your Best Life: How to Go from Surviving to Thriving After Abuse, and an online transformational program guiding others to inner freedom and intentional living. With a master's degree in business and certifications from Bob Proctor and Kathleen Cameron, Selene blends mindset mastery with soul-aligned principles. She teaches that everything we need lies within us, and that healing from the inside out is the key to manifesting the life of our deepest desires. Welcome to the show, Selene. I am so happy to have the opportunity to chat with you while you're here visiting us in Arizona. You have truly been living your best life, traveling the world and helping others heal at the same time. But before we get into our conversation today, I want to ask you our icebreaker question. Can you please share a fun fact or something that maybe not many people know about you?
Sure. Thank you, Shante, for the invitation to be here today.
Of
Um,
course.
so happy that you invited me. But yes, so for me, a fun fact is I like to parasail. I like
Oh, I guess that doesn't really surprise me.
I do. I even want to jump out of an airplane. I just have to find someone.
You have jumped out of an airplane?
No,
Oh, you
not
haven't.
yet.
Okay.
It's on my bucket list. Like that's the next level.
Okay.
So yeah, I like adrenaline kind of sporting events.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you're better than me. I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Well, it was so beautiful doing it in Colombia, the parasailing, because
Mhm.
jumping off the mountain and just seeing the beautiful scenery. I just felt so free.
I bet. Yeah, it's got to be beautiful.
Yeah, so beautiful.
I did let somebody talk me into the zip lining when I was in
Mm.
Mexico.
Oh
And
yeah, I
I
love
was
that.
so against it, and I finally gave in and did it, and it was actually really fun.
It
So
is. It is.
it's all about the mindset, right?
Exactly.
Which is what
Exactly.
we're going to talk about today. We are talking about
Yes.
the mind, right? So we're going to get into that. You and I have actually known each other for a long time. And we've been able to watch each other grow and evolve over the past 20 plus years, probably. And I can definitely say that based on both of where we both came from, totally different upbringings, but based on that, it's taken a major mindset shift for both of us to get to where we are today. Would you agree?
I absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So today we are talking about mindset awareness, awakeness or consciousness, basically how we manage our thoughts, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, how would you define mindset awareness?
Great question. I know we hear the term a lot, mindset and manifestation, and
Hmm.
but we don't really know what it is,
Right.
right? We have some concepts. When I first heard about it, I thought, oh, okay, it's meditating and sitting still and focusing on one thing or other. And that was the extent of my knowledge. And when I first retired from my corporate job in 2020 and I embarked on a new journey, I actually retired 2 weeks before COVID happened
Mm,
and the world shut down.
right.
And then I said, okay, what am I going to do now? Because I had different plans. I was going to go right into real estate and doing loans outside of the bank and brokering. And I said, well, you know what? It's time to write my book and
Mhm.
it's time to do what I really want, my calling, right? My purpose,
Right.
which is really important component of our journey, right? Is why are we here? what is our purpose, what is our mission. When we can connect to that,
Mhm.
the world opens up to us and our hearts
Exactly.
open up more. So, which I'm going to talk a lot about the heart as well, opening up our hearts. Um, so I said, okay, well, it's time to write my book. I'm going to write my book. So I hired a publisher. She not only helped me write the book in like 2 weeks time frame flat, she also helped me create a program to teach the principles of the book.
Mm.
And so from there, I said, well, you know what? I want to be a coach then because I have to get certified to, and I've been a coach my whole life, right? I was a manager at the bank. So I coached my team.
Right.
Consider myself a coach, but I wasn't certified. So I went to get certified. So I started working with Bob Proctor and his team, and they talked a lot about mindset. They also teach the components of the doing, right? The masculine energy, which
Okay.
is the physical aspects of it, but they also touched on the mindset. Now, I went further to expand that out with Kathleen Cameron, who is also a spiritual coach and a mindset coach,
Okay.
right? So there's two levels to it, right? So I would say mindset is our thoughts,
Mhm.
what we think about,
Right.
and then above our thoughts is our consciousness, our awareness,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
It's connected to our higher self, our higher spirit, which is connected to the all, right? To the
Mhm.
universe, to God, to source.
Exactly.
So that's
So
the difference, right? Is our thoughts. Sometimes I used to believe my thoughts were me, that's all me.
mhm.
Yes, they are part of me, but it's not all of me. It's a part, it's like a puzzle, a piece in the puzzle, right? The brain, the thoughts, the energy that comes from the
Okay.
thoughts are powerful. But then there's the consciousness, which is above all of that, which oversees and can see our thoughts.
Right. Okay. So, your journey from abuse survivor to spiritual coach is really powerful. How would you say you first recognized during this transition that shifting your mindset was essential to your own healing process?
Yes. Oh, it's so important because the way we think, the way we process our energy through our thoughts literally changes the chemistry in our bodies,
Mm.
right? From the stem of our brain, it affects everything. So the energy, we are energy, yes, we are mind, we are body, and we are spirit. And our energy is what flows to and through us, right?
Right.
From life source universe down to us. We receive that energy and we process it. Now we also create our energy with our thoughts,
Exactly. Yes.
right? So in the past I was in victim mode, feeling powerless,
Mhm.
feeling that I had no control over my life, that I had to succumb and follow what everybody else wanted me to do and be.
Right.
And I did. I did the best that I could by definition, a codependent. As a codependent, I was a people pleaser. So it was about making everyone else happy, making sure that everyone else had everything they need, and really not taking care of myself,
Okay.
not listening to my own heart and what is it that I really truly wanted. And that was super important because I kept repeating the same patterns, going over and over with same people, different people, but the same type of abuse, same type of
Mhm.
relationship where I wasn't able to speak up. I was just people pleasing and being taken advantage of.
Right. Okay. So what would you say is the most challenging mindset barrier to overcome that allowed you to go from that being in survival mode to actually being able to thrive? Was there, something that was very challenging to overcome to get past that?
Yeah, so I have to do a little bit of background, a little
Okay.
bit of science and whatnot. But so our energies, when we are in a traumatic abuse situation, when we're especially when we're children, when we're
Mhm.
forming our own thoughts and our own programs of how to survive in this world and how to live in this world, right? We're being impacted by our environment and the people around us, and even the events that happen in our life to us. As little kids, we don't know how to process them, right?
Right.
So we create beliefs
Mhm.
and programs when we're little that become ingrained in our brain and in our bodies energetically. And this is what we use to live and survive in a sense. When especially when we're kids, we if we don't feel supported by our parents, if we feel emotions of abandonment, if we don't love ourselves. Like for me, I didn't feel safe in my environment and I didn't feel loved. So I didn't love myself
Mm.
because then I turned on myself because I couldn't turn on my providers because they were
Yeah.
there to take care of me. And so as a little child, I turned in on myself. Now I'm the bad person. I'm the evil one. I'm the one to blame and to shame and all of that, right?
Mhm.
So these were programs in my mind and my energetic body. So when I became aware of them, and this is a good thing, is that when we become aware of them,
Right.
that's the first step towards
Right.
healing,
That's
right?
part of the awareness part. Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Right. Because if I'm not aware, I was repeating the same.
Yeah.
So it became becoming aware and seeing these reactions to life because now life becomes a reactive process versus a responsive process,
Mm.
responding to what's happening and be able to process them instead of going into fight or flight mode and fear
Mhm.
mode, right?
Okay.
So becoming aware of these patterns, programs, and the way that we I became aware of them is by my reactions to life, right? So we go inward. That's where the healing comes from within.
Mhm.
We go inward. We can start to parent. I started parenting myself,
Mm.
right? So, like, talking to my little girl, what do you need? What's going on?
Okay.
I start to identify the feelings. What am I feeling? Why? What colors do I see? And then tracing it back to where did it start?
Right.
When was the first time I felt this? Where was and going back to the belief, that original program that was ingrained as a little girl and my little Celine and saying, okay, we're safe now. Universe supports us.
Yeah.
We no longer need to hold on to this feeling thought program, right? We can release it and thank it for being here to help us
Right. Now, how
through the process.
how long did that process take for you to like come to that realization so that you were aware of your behaviors and what you were doing in response to past, right? And you're saying you're doing these things like talking to your inner child and telling yourself these things. How long of a process was that, like to get to that point or to even go through those motions? Is this something that you did daily, like a daily task that you did with
Yes.
yourself, or?
Yes. So my first awareness or awakening probably happened in 2017.
Mhm.
And then from there was the process, a daily, very deep dives because it was during the divorce, right? My second divorce. And I said to myself, you're going through this again. You've changed the person, but you're going through this
Same
again.
thing.
So what's the definition of insanity?
Right.
Doing the same
Same
thing
thing
over and
over and
over and over,
over.
expecting different results. So I said, I'm doing something that is within me, right? So I started following mentors and coaches. I had my first coach. I did online training. I When I started realizing what was happening, I reached out to all the resources I could get my hands on.
Mm.
Online books, training coaches. Well, I was working before that was before I was working with Bob. So 2017 to 2020 is when I started doing my dream life, right? So
Okay.
within those 3 years, I really did a lot of deep healing and a lot of inner growth.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Right.
It's a life journey,
It
right?
is.
Because there's layers upon layers upon layers, and
Mhm.
when they come up, it's time to let them go, right? Versus suppressing them and saying, "Oh no, I don't want to deal with this," or focusing. My whole life, I was always focusing on work, working out, church. I was a leader, always ignoring myself,
Mm.
those inner my inner children, my inner
Yeah.
fears, my programs, right? So now when they come up, it's like I embrace them. I thank them for letting me know, hey, there's something else here that wants to get released.
Right. Yes. I think that's so important for our listeners to understand because what you were talking about, the definition of insanity, I think there's so many of us who do that, who we fall into these patterns and we don't stop, after so many times of it happening to sit and reflect on what are we doing that's causing this to happen over and over. Like you said, you changed the person, but it kept happening. And I think we really need to a lot of, we need to stop and sit when we see this these things happening multiple times and we think we're doing something different, but are you really? You need to sit with that and really think about what am I doing to
Ex
contribute to this this reoccurring situation, right?
Right, right,
Yeah,
right. So it was about understanding that I have no power over other people.
right.
I have no control over what people do, say, or think, and that I can't change them.
Mhm.
See, I thought I could change people by people pleasing, by being what they wanted me to be, and
Right.
then I would be lovable, and then I could accept myself, and then, I could love.
Yeah.
But it's not the way it works. We can't change or control anybody. The only thing that we have control over is our thoughts, feelings, and actions. So I
Right.
took responsibility. I had to accept. I had to accept what was happening. My environment
Mhm.
was not what I wanted.
Right.
And it wasn't coming from the outside. It was actually coming from myself. I attracted this person. I allowed the situations.
Mhm.
Then I stayed for a long time and following my old programs, right? So I became aware of that and I started to work within. I went within. I stopped trying to control. I stopped trying to change. I stopped trying to people please and I went within. So healing really starts within,
Right.
within ourselves. If we see and find ourselves in these patterns repeating the same thing over and over, or if we're unhappy with our external environment, it has nothing to do with the external environment. It all has to do within. Our world, our outside world is a reflection of our inner world.
Right.
So whatever environment we have, if we're unhappy about it, there's something within us that we can work on to make it better.
Right. Right. What role do you think forgiveness plays in mindset transformation?
It's very, 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 very important.
Okay.
Very, very important because like I was saying, our what we have and how we hold our energy inside within
Right.
creates.
Right.
We're energetic beings. We're spiritual, energetic beings in a physical body, right? At least that's my belief system. So I'm creating with my thoughts based on the
Mhm.
energy that's coming from my heart, right? So if I have love in my heart, I'm projecting love. I'm creating this beautiful, loving energy and it flows out to everyone. You can feel it, right? When you walk into a room or you walk home, you're getting home and you see your spouse, you can immediately, or partner, you can immediately tell what energy state they're in, what
Oh
mood they're
yeah.
in, if they're happy, if
Right.
they're not happy, if they're upset, if they're relaxed or if they're stressed. Like they don't have to tell you,
Mhm.
you just know because you feel that energy, right?
Yeah.
And that energy can be felt in any room.
Mhm.
You've seen people walk into a room that are just full of light and joy, and their energy is magnetic, and everybody stalks and goes to them, wants to be around them, right?
Right.
I always think of Jesus energy, love that Jesus energy, right? Everybody
Mhm.
just flocked to him, they just want to be around him because he just radiated love. And this is within, that was from his heart. And so
Right.
what I realize is more and more every day is that the more we can live with an open heart, the more we can live in love and joy and
Mhm.
peace and happiness and thoughts of abundance, we're going to attract all of that to us
Right.
because that is our true core being as beings of light, as human, our soul
Mhm.
energy, or that's who we are. But we're not always aware of that. Sometimes we become lost in these old programs that come up of fear, of fight and flight. I have to protect myself. And we attract the wrong energies, right?
Exactly.
But if we're grounded in our truth and who we really are, then we will attract that same light. So the same energy we send out is the same energy that comes right back to us,
Right. Right.
right? So we can change the programs, change the mindset, and not think about the past because our suffering is really in our thoughts
Mhm.
and our memories
Right.
because that event already passed, but it becomes real and it comes back because we're thinking and giving it energy. So
Mhm.
when we can forgive our the people that have harmed us and not hold grudges against them, then we can open up our channel.
Right.
and be able to love and to receive love. Otherwise, if we don't forgive them, that becomes a blockage.
Mm,
And then love energy can't
can't get
flow
in. Yeah.
because there's a block. And especially in our hearts,
Right.
we have unforgiveness. It blocks the love energy from flowing.
Right.
And that's what attracts everything we want in life, right? If we're constantly complaining, negative Nancy's, nothing's working out for me, we get so angry and upset at life, at God, or at the person that hurt me,
Mhm.
we're not going to be open to receive
Exactly.
the loving, flowing energy
Yeah.
that's coming to and through us. And we'll keep repeating, creating that same
Right. You're
life
just you're speaking that into
into
existence.
existence. Our
Yeah.
thoughts are so powerful. Literally, our energy and how we hold our energy is everything. And so one practice that Kathleen Cameron taught us, and Bob as well, and it's even in, in the Bible. It says the Bible says, love your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, how am I supposed to love this person that did me so much harm and hurt my family? Love your enemies. It's not for them.
Right.
It's for us.
Right.
And it's the hardest thing. Like, I know it's the hardest thing to forgive somebody that's caused so much harm.
Mm,
But, we have to see him for ourselves. It's like if we hold this grudge and we hold this anger, it's like taking the poison, the rat poison. I'm taking the rat poison and I'm
yeah.
hoping that he or she dies.
Right.
That's not going to
That's
happen.
not how it works.
It's no, I'm the one that's going to die. And
Yeah.
that's literally what happens in our hearts when we can't forgive and we can't expand our love, we can't grow in life, then we start to deteriorate. We start to get anxious and sad and angry. And so
Yeah.
our bodies literally eventually will start to break down. And that's where we have heart attacks. People that die of heart attacks usually die from a broken heart, broken relationship, a love that they weren't able to forgive.
Right.
And even if you don't, it's not, forgiveness isn't even for opening up the relationship again and being with
No.
this person. No. It's about forgiving and letting go of
Yeah.
that negative energy. But that's the process part, right? We're
Right.
holding creating sacred space for holding ourselves during those moments when we felt sad, unsafe, when that memory comes up and we feel anger, sadness. It's the
Yeah.
time to go within, hold it, and let it go.
Right.
Process it, right? Versus resisting. If we don't allow that forgiveness to flow through and we're just, well, I'm just not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna ignore it. Eventually it could come up in a very not very good way, right? Where we're
Right.
heart attacks and things like that.
I think too that when you practice that consciousness and you understand your own situation and like, okay, you're becoming aware of why you are behaving the way that you're behaving, it actually allows you to see, let's say that you are trying in that phase where you're trying to forgive somebody who has hurt you. If you can open up your mind and understand why you're in the position that you're in or why you're behaving the way you are because of things that have happened to you in your past, it allows you to see where that person might be coming from,
Mm,
why they're doing the things that they're doing that caused them to hurt you, and allows you to have more openness to forgive that person.
exactly. Having compassion, right?
Right.
Because we know hurt people. So
Right.
kind of that empathetic part, okay, try to visualize the person as a small child,
Hmm.
right? What did
Right.
they go through? How did they see the world? And now they're harming or harmed me because of whatever happened to them,
Right.
right? So yeah, having that compassion
Hmm.
for them, but also for ourselves, right? Because,
Right.
we've been through a lot, and being able to hold space for ourselves. And then the forgiveness is also for us too,
Yeah.
because we made mistakes. We haven't always been perfect
Yeah.
either, right? So forgiving ourselves for the way that we acted or the way we treated other people
Hmm.
or even the way that we treated ourselves, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. So you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You do blend your business expertise with spiritual principles. How do these two approaches complement each other when it comes to mindset work? And how can we apply this to our everyday lives when it comes to work, our business, or just our relationships?
That's a very good question because I used to think that spiritual and church is here and
Mhm.
work and business is way on the other spectrum and they don't
Okay.
mix,
Right.
right? I think this is what we're taught, especially in the corporate space,
Right.
right? You leave everything outside and you just focus on work. Well, it goes back to the same principle. If we, and the way we were raised, right? I was
Mhm.
raised, you have to work really, really hard.
Mhm.
My dad used to say, stick your nose in the ground, don't look up, and just work your ass off. And then one day you'll have something.
Right.
So that's how I started out in life. And I was so unhappy and so miserable
Right.
because I was limiting myself, right? See, we are beings, our purpose is to grow and expand. If we're not
Mhm.
growing or expanding, we eventually start to get sad and anxious and we start to deteriorate. And so now my awareness, see, we are what we're aware of. We're our consciousness. We're whatever level we're at in our consciousness is what will be. It's our truth, it's our belief, right? So if I believe that I have to work really, really hard, and I literally believe that I couldn't do anything else outside of the bank.
Mhm.
Like if I left the bank, I was gonna be left with nothing.
Yeah. Right.
Nothing else. I wasn't capable of doing anything else or receiving the same type of income. So
Okay.
it's like my mindset was I have to stay at work, this job. And I lasted 23 years.
Yeah.
That's like trying to get to 25. I don't know why. It's like, no, I can't. Cannot do it another day. So I retired. But so now in this space, right? It's like again expanding our awareness of who we are and what we're
Mhm.
capable of. Believing in ourselves, right?
Right.
If we don't believe in ourselves, it's going to be very difficult. As an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
your business is you,
Right.
your energy, your belief systems. What is the capacity that you can hold for yourself in the business? Do you see yourself as a successful entrepreneur, or do you see yourself like, oh, I don't know anything, I'm struggling, I'm never going to make it? Like you're
Mhm.
creating your reality, whichever one of
Right.
these two mindsets you're in, right?
Right.
So, with mindset and spirituality, the spirituality is in the belief in yourself, the belief that you're not alone.
Mhm.
The belief is faith that no matter if you don't know how to do it, right? Bob always taught us this. You have to think huge, a big, big dream.
Mhm.
Have this huge dream. Dream big,
Right.
as big as you can. And from there, you don't have to know how you're gonna do it.
Okay.
Just believe in the dream and in yourself. And the way will show itself to you. As you take
Mhm.
steps in action and faith, the steps will
They will align.
they will align,
I'm a testament to that
right?
because both businesses that I've opened literally just happened. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. I don't know how this is going to work out, but the vision is here. The opportunity is right in front of me. It's been thrown in my lap and I have to run with like I just know, in my spirit that this is what I'm supposed to do. And just that belief that it's going to work out somewhere or another each time, like you said, things just aligned to where it was, here's the location, boom. How am I going to pay for this? Boom. It just kept, it would just come and fall and just happen. And because I believe that, like I said, I don't know how, but it's going to happen some way or another.
Exactly. That's a perfect testament.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to know the how. And this is our human part, right? So
Yeah.
there's our spiritual part, we believe and we have faith, and then there's our human part that says, "But how are we going to do this? And we don't know how to do this, and we don't have the
Hmm.
licensing, and la la la." And we start to whatever we give energy to will grow,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So if we focus on our energy, that on our fear, we're not going to move forward. But if we focus on, yes, we could do it. Let's go. God will provide, universe, it'll happen. It's like magic, but it's not.
Right.
It's just the way the universe works.
Yes. It's very easy when you think about it, right? But
Yes.
we as humans make it complicated,
There's
like
nobody
everything.
limiting us or stopping us
Yeah.
except ourselves, our own thoughts
Right.
and programs,
Right.
right? And yes, their human part has works to protect us, right? Fear is really to protect
Mhm.
us. So we can realize, okay, what am I afraid of? Is it really real?
Right.
You realize, no, it's not really a fact. It's
Mhm.
just a thought. We can dismantle the thought and say, you know what, I'm going to change that thought to positive one. I'm going to let that one go. It's always about letting go of all fears and programs and beliefs and changing them for positive ones. Instilling the I am successful, I am capable, I have everything I need. And this constant repetition in our minds and our thoughts, focusing on the good that we desire versus focusing on negative and what we don't want.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a particular mindset practice, maybe something easy that people can start to incorporate in their lives and start working on that process?
Absolutely. I meditate every day and it's really about opening up our heart. So one practice that people can do is once you have your well, I have cacao, which I'm also
Mhm.
certified to serve cacao, which is a heart opener.
Right.
It helps us open up our heart. So you can sit with your favorite beverage, cacao or not, putting one hand on your heart, and you can
Mhm.
put one hand on your womb. You close your eyes or your belly area, and you close your eyes, and you start to breathe in deep, and you exhale
Mhm.
slowly. You do that for at least 3 minutes,
Okay.
and all you think about are thoughts of gratitude,
Mm.
things you're happy and grateful for, which is a very another part super important is gratitude every
Right.
day. So 3 minutes of that, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly for 3 minutes, thinking of only positive thoughts, creates this wave of energy between your heart and your thoughts that's aligned, that's congruent. And this energy becomes super magnetic.
Mm.
So now you start to attract everything you're grateful for. So
Right.
you can start being grateful for things that aren't done yet, like your business
Mhm.
generating $10 million a year. I mean,
Right.
who's to say that you can't do that?
Right.
Only your thoughts, our belief system.
Mhm.
So that's what we're changing, right? So we're just meditating, feeling into that, and only focusing on gratitude.
Okay. That's something easy and simple to start with.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
This is such a great topic because I'm sure we could go on and on and on about mindset. So many people just, I don't think, grasp the concept that what we think and say out loud consistently is what we ultimately create. Like the quote says, we are the creators of our own reality, right? Do you
Exactly.
have any other words of wisdom or anything you'd like to share today with our audience?
So many things. Just, you know, focus focus on the things that you truly want in life
Mm,
and dismiss everything else.
no, other stuff is not important,
It's not important, right?
right?
Our creative force and energy goes to what we focus on.
Right.
Your intention, our intention, right? So we focus on the good we desire. That's the most important thing we could do. If we do that all day, every day, we will be successful. Everything we want will come to fruition. It'll be in the 3D.
Right.
So yeah, that would
Yes,
be
thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you again for coming on the show today and helping us learn a little bit about the mind and how it can have a profound impact on our healing and our existence. Would you like to tell our listeners how they can find you for more details on what you offer or if they just want to connect with you?
Yes. They can follow me on Selene, all social media platforms, Selene, Selene, life coach. They can also email me at selenethecoach@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to connect with
Okay.
anybody.
I'll make sure that gets put in the notes in writing so people can see that as well. Thank you to our listeners for tuning into today's episode of Holistic Health Explained. I'm your host, Shantae. Be well, my friends.